Hi, welcome to Bella's Yoga Room. I'm Bella. Welcome to the gift of yoga. So find a comfortable position to get started. Sitting up on a block. You can be legs cross-legged or sitting in hero pose. And today's practice is really about the gifts that we can give ourselves, and that the practice of yoga is a wonderful gift. So once you've found a comfortable seat, let's allow the body to still, placing one hand over the chest or heart, one hand gently on the belly, and then just allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears, closing the eyes, and just noticing how you're feeling. And maybe you're wondering, I don't know if I have time for this. Just be here. You deserve this time. So with the eyes shut, just starting to become aware of how the body is feeling. Maybe there's a lot of things you need to do. Maybe you're feeling tired. Not judging it, let's just notice it. And with your hands on your chest and on your belly, just start to notice what the quality of your breath is like in this moment. And if there's a lot of chest, shallow breathing, that's okay. Just notice where it's at today. And let's go ahead now and try and invite in a deeper breath. So as you're inhaling, thinking about that belly expanding, and then exhaling, feeling the tummy fall in. Inhaling that expansion and exhaling. And notice here if maybe the tendency for the shoulders to want to go up as you inhale. Again, as we inhale, trying to allow those shoulders to be as still as possible. And exhale. Keep going there. So we are engaging some of that belly breathing. And if you haven't done this before, it might feel a bit funny. Just give it a go. Last ones here. And exhale. Allowing the hands to rest now on the knees or on the legs. Noticing how you're feeling after those breaths. Maybe the same, and that's okay. Open those eyes if you're ready to come back to the room. And we're going to just sort of walk our hands a little bit behind us. And this could be just a little bit, but you might want to just keep walking all the way. And then maybe starting to just lean back a little bit, opening up that chest, maybe tilting the chin up a little bit, opening up in that throat too. So often when we're feeling tired, we've got to the end of the year, we just want to close up and maybe collapse. So notice too what that's like, have this opening in that chest. You can always back off a little bit if it's too much. Okay, let's walk those fingers back. If you are sitting up on a block or cushion, let's just move that to the side. We are going to be using a block later. Love a block. So if anybody needs some gift ideas for you, maybe suggest a yoga block. Anyway, back to it. So We're going to let the feet come out. And so just sort of like a little bit in front of you like this. And have the hands again behind us. And we're going to just allow the knees to fall over to the left. And then inhaling, coming back. And exhaling over to the right. And just with your own breath there, exhaling, falling over. Inhaling, center, and exhale. Creating a little bit of opening, bit of movement there in those hips. We're also sort of maybe opening up again those shoulders as much as you're ready to. Okay, when the knees are back to center, let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together and then allowing the knees just nice and wide. And again here, really thinking about having a nice straight spine. If you're finding that you are arching over, you can always have the feet further away from the hips. So find that place where you're feeling the stretch, but you're not compromising the integrity of your spine. So again, here, and you can stay upright, or you might want to fold forward, feeling that in those hips. Nice deep breaths here. And if you're folded over, let's come up. Allow the legs just to come out straight. Let's hug that right knee in nice and tight to the chest. Again, thinking about that tight, straight line in spine, and then maybe wrapping that left arm around. Right hand goes behind, and we're looking over that right shoulder or just over to the right side. Twisting into those organs that work hard for us every day. Coming back to center, left side. Hug that right elbow around that left knee. Maybe looking over the left shoulder or just over to the left side. That's fine as well. Feeling that twist here on the other side. Beautiful. All right. Rolling over, coming onto all fours. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, opening up in that chest as we look up, and exhaling, arching the back. Inhaling, looking up, exhale. Inhale and exhale. That mouth nice and open. Coming back to just a neutral spine here. Keeping the hands under the shoulders. We're going to straighten out and lift up that right leg nice and long. If you would like to invite in a little bit more balance here, you can always have that opposite left arm. And we're going to bring it in and out as we inhale and then exhale to come in. Inhale. Inhale and exhale. Second side, lifting up that left leg nice and long, pointing those toes. And option for the right arm to also come up. Inhale here and exhale. One more here. And let's go down. Beautiful. Let's bring the toes together, knees nice and wide. Let's just rest that forehead down, allowing the hips to settle back in the heels. Arms reaching out in front, maybe having more active arms here today, or you can always rest the elbows if you need to. And coming up. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my microphone. Okay, let's see how that goes. Alrighty, sorry about that. Let's tuck those toes underneath. We're back into our all fours. We're going to come into our down dog. Let's walk out those feet, stretching through the lower leg. And then bending the knees as much as you need to. Let's walk the feet all the way up to the mat. Feet may be a bit wider here. Let's bend those knees generously and just hang. If you wanted to grasp maybe opposite elbow with the hands, maybe just gentle sway from one side to the other. And release those hands, rolling all the way up. Coming into a standing pose, roll those shoulders back. Arms up to the sky, through the heart center. Let's folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back, then the other. Option to lower the knees if you need to. Coming down, up, next, and into our down dog, and walking that out. Lift up that right leg and bring it all the way to the front, lowering the left knee. Inhale, and then exhaling, straightening out that front leg. Keep a little bend there as much as you need to. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Rolling forward, tuck those back toes. Let's push back to down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Place the left foot at the top, lower that right knee. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming to flow here, and exhale. Inhale, and again, this is with your breath. Coming forward again, and let's step back to our down dog. Well done. Okay, we're going to go left leg up. Place that at the front of the mat. Turn that right foot out so it's parallel to the end of the mat into our warrior two, bending generously into that left knee. Inhale, reversing. Coming back to warrior two. We're going to come to a high lunge, so pivoting on that back right foot. We are going to transition into our warrior three. So you can always stay and keep that back right foot on the ground if you need to. Otherwise, this is a balancing pose. So bringing that right foot a little bit up closer to the mat. closer up to the, stepping up to the left foot. And then when you're ready, maybe keeping those hands on your hips, starting to lift up that back leg. Again, having a soft bend in that left standing knee. Arms can stay on the hips, or they can come behind you, or they can reach out in front of you. Keep breathing here. And then when you're ready, just coming back maybe to that high lunge, turning out that back foot, back to our warrior two. Straightening up that front left leg, turning the foot, so both feet now parallel in that nice wide stance. Going to interlace the fingers behind our back here. Again, in that just nice opening the chest. Nice deep breaths here. And slowly release those. Let's turn out now that right foot. Check that stance, and then bending into that right front leg, coming into our warrior two. Inhale, reverse, looking up. And coming back to our warrior two. Getting ready for that warrior three. So pivoting on that back foot. So bringing the hips so they're both facing the front here. Hands maybe on hips. Starting to bring that back leg up a little bit. And then taking that balance. Again, you can always have that toe on the ground. You can have the arms by your sides. Again, really thinking about keeping both those hips facing down. Arms can be behind, in front of you, reaching. And when you've had enough, let's lower that down. And again, coming back so that both feet are now parallel in our wide stance. Hands on hips. And then we're going to hinge at those lovely hips and folding. Maybe releasing the hands down, letting the head hang. Nice deep breaths here. Well done. Takes a lot of courage to try a balanced pose. Doesn't have to be perfect. Your pose doesn't need to look like the pictures, doesn't need to look like mine. How does it feel for you? Feeling strong like a warrior. Okay, bring those hands back to the hips. Bring those feet together. Let's come to any end of your mat, really. We've done a full circle, a full 180, I guess. Inhaling up, and let's fold down here. And then stepping one knee back, then the other, coming to transition ever so gracefully onto your backs. So we are going to do a couple little bridges here. And that's where you might want to have little block, always useful. You can always have some cushions too. It's absolutely fine. So we are going to be in a supported bridge pose. So feet, you want them to be hip distance apart, not too far away from your bottom, but also not right up close. Hands just next to the body, by the sides, block, nice and handy if you've got it ready to go. So just inhaling, starting to lift up those hips, maybe resting that block underneath. If you don't have a block, you can always just come and hold this position for a couple breaths, then lowering the hips, taking a rest pose. I'm going to bring my arms, again, they can stay by your sides, or if you do want to sort of open up a little bit more in that chest, maybe bringing and here as well, just noticing how the breath, what's its rate, what's its depth after the practice, after the heat, after the movement. And if you've been practicing bridge and you don't have a block, maybe just coming, allowing the hips to rest on the ground, maybe bring the feet out a little bit wider and just rest the knees in on each other to support each other. If you do have the block, let's go ahead and just lift up and slowly bring the bottom down. Hug those knees into the chest. Rocking gently from one side to the other. And taking any other movements you need to, if you're ready to let those legs stretch out, arms resting by the sides of your body, closing the eyes, coming into our final position, Shavasana. Feeling the ground beneath you, imagining it maybe coming up to meet parts of your body that have contact with the ground. That's there to support you, to get you through whatever you need to do. And just notice, how is the body feeling? If you get distracted by the to-do list, let's just come back to the points of contact with the ground. What it feels like to have your eyes shut in this moment. Let's place a hand on the tummy, and the other hand can rest on top of that hand, or it can rest on the chest. In this resting pose, just noticing the breath. And then let's wiggle those toes, wiggle the fingers. Rolling to one side. Slowly coming up to a seated position that's comfortable for your body. Opening the eyes if you're ready, or you can keep them shut. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I'm so proud of you for practicing and giving yourself the gift of this practice, this time. You deserve it. And take care. See you next time. Thank you.